Before we begin, and I'd like to invite yourself and the listeners at home to join me for the meditation. Our starts have been a moment in mindfulness to allow us to center and ground ourselves, but then to open up our hearts as well. We go through this society really focused in the brain and in the mind, and it's very easy to get into that hustle mentality of just doing more and more and more, right? And I find very rarely that you do take a moment to stop and then to listen to your heart. So inviting you to come into a comfortable seat, and when you're ready, gently closing down the eyes as well. Recognizing where you are in this point in time. Feeling the foundations supporting you in where you're seated or where you're standing. Feeling the ground underneath your feet. Feeling the seat underneath your bottom. And feeling your backrest supporting your spine in that seating posture. A beautiful anchor point of meditation is your breath. Your breath is a key to understanding your feelings and emotions at the time. And let's take a short moment to find and place your awareness into your breath. Is your breath short and shallow? Or is it full and deep? Feeling the different dimensions of the breath as well. Feeling the inhale through the nose as it puffs up your chest and fills your lungs. And on the exhale, feeling the release, the expulsion of impurities that your body doesn't want. And through the inhale, feeling your life force, the universal life force, entering your body. And then on the exhale, shedding away all anxieties, all ill feelings. meditation is an art, but also a science. The art of it is accepting any thoughts that may come up in your mind, because they do, and you can't stop them. So there is an element of acceptance, of watching passively with neutrality and ease. And just letting your thoughts float away and fly away, just like clouds. So as we're sitting here, observing our breath and placing our awareness on the life force that's been given us, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we're meeting and where you may be listening on. The Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who have been the custodians of this land for time immemorial. For as long as history can remember. Their connection to this land is so special. And I want to honor that here today. So when you're ready, and wherever you are, just slowly dropping out of your meditation in any way that you want. You might keep your eyes downcast at the floor and at your feet, while you gently open up the eyes. You may want to, just rub the pads of your fingers together and just feeling that sensory sensation of touch as you remind yourself that you're human and living in this human experience. So when you're ready, and I'm open for any feedback from yourself, Bo, as you sit here across the room from me as well on the practice and maybe your journey through mindfulness and whatever that means to you as well.
Yeah. Wow. What a powerful way to start this, this conversation. It's funny because I've been trying to get myself into meditation. It's not something that I've, traditionally done. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to do that for myself and using YouTube and, the things that are already out there.
Yeah, of course.
But that just hits, that hits different. Just being there in person, hearing, going through that. It's definitely, and I think too, having that connection of being right next to you and hearing your voice just adds that little element of specialness. Thank you. That was amazing. There's a couple of things that were going through my mind as we were going through that as well. And one thing is thinking about my own sort of consciousness and my own thoughts, and recognizing when I was going away, and I'm like, you're speaking, but my thoughts were going somewhere else. I'm like, hang on, bring it back.
Yeah,
You know. So that was interesting just to recognize that. And yeah. And then the other thing was, I don't know, there's something about bowing your head. And for me, I recognized as well that I'm sort of, I don't know if it's a cultural thing as well, because in Māori culture, where I'm from in Aotearoa, when we pray and we do, it's probably a religious thing as well, is you bow your head. You put your head down, and you don't, even when you're speaking to someone, it's not common for us to look into each other's eyes in our culture as well. Right. So that just being, aware that like as soon as you started speaking, boom, I went down, you know? So,
it's fascinating. In Asian culture, bowing is a sign of respect and of deep respect as well. And I was in a yoga class yesterday with Anzari, who we recorded yesterday with her, and she's a close friend of mine. And after class, as she closed her practice, I don't think anybody else did that, but just gently with my eyes closed, hands together, it was just a bow of thank you and respect and honor as well. So we definitely do that in our culture, and I think it's so beautiful to maybe it puts you in a state of vulnerability, doesn't it, when you bow your head?
Yeah.
Because your eyes are down, it's not looking at whoever else it is. And maybe in our primitive days, as you bow down, like you're putting yourself in danger because your eyes aren't activated anymore.
Yeah. I think another thing too, that as you were talking and how you incorporated the acknowledgement to country into the meditation process, I think also I felt that, and that because I think you go through a process as well, and I've been through my own process of acknowledging the traditional owners and what those words actually mean, and being in this space, being in a meditative, I don't know what you would call it, but a state of meditation, and then going through an acknowledgement of country, it becomes more real for you, or real for me, and I actually am listening to your words and what that actually means. So yeah, it's good.
Well, we appreciate the words even much more so as we're wiping away all other thoughts. And we're not wiping away all other thoughts, but what we're doing is being conscious and being focused on the present moment, which is what meditation is all about. And I do see that because of where we are in society, and because of the recognition that we want to give our First Nations people, is that an acknowledgement is true and correct. But sometimes it is, and it can be the thing that you must say before you go on to say your other things, right? So I've been lucky enough to sit in an acknowledgement of country training as well with a group called Acknowledge That. And they're based in Perth and from Noongar country. And incredible young artists and speakers who I really encourage everybody to sign up, because it really changes how you approach an acknowledgement to country.